Let's get seated. Even though I preach for 2 minutes, but I know the Lord has a purpose. I wanted us to take only these minutes so that the Lord makes certain things to quake. That there are things the Lord changes within us. There are things that have clung to us. And some of them have become a part of us. Some of us even tell stories about them. And then you say, Lord, this poverty. And when you consider yourself, it's all poverty. When you're a reproach. That even though you just think about working, there is something that takes you back. That is what I wanted us to first break. Sometimes the poverty is psychological. Sometimes the poverty is in our mindsets.
Just psychological.
That is what I wanted us to break. Let us first break down our mindsets. Sometimes we think, and the mindset draws us back to the generations of our grandfathers. I had a friend, and they were saying that from their grandfather's generation, from their great-grandfather, he was even forced to go and see the grave where he was buried. He only saw poverty. And did not see a way he would go out of it. In our family, the people that began to get rich, they began on my generation. There are things that I got tired of. There is a time a situation forces you to do weird things. When we had just gotten saved in our family, they used to call us mad. I have a brother who told me that you're mad. And all our sisters and brothers, you've made them fools. But the ones who were saying they have become fools, before we come home, there isn't anything that goes on. I like that kind of foolishness. That before I get there, before you get there, you're a fool. You even made your friends foolish. But before I get there, nothing goes on. May the Lord give me that kind of foolishness. He said that you made your friends fools. And I wondered if only he knew what he was saying. So also you in your family, there are those who say that one became a fool. But if you are becoming stupid because of Jesus, I request that you continue to be foolish. If they say that what you're doing, there are things we do and they are considered foolishness to them. But those who consider us to be fools, the Lord sees it as wisdom. And that is my prayer tonight. That whoever sacrificed time to come here, may the Lord change certain things. May the Lord turn around certain things. May He break certain things.
Just to think about them.
Think about them in your heart. That when you close your eyes, there are things that you see that need to be changed in you. I've seen the Lord turn things around. I've seen the Lord marry me. The Lord has married me. If only you knew where I came from. When I stand here to speak, and then they call me the chairman of Tuzimbe. I've spent this entire week putting on my status young CEOs and investors. That very brother man who told me, who told me a fool, now said, are you a pastor now? And I told him, I'm not yet one. I'm not even a pastor. He's already amazed that I'm on the poster. That there are also things I can say to people. They were amazed. They are also going to get amazed at you. There are people who will be amazed. When they see someone and they wonder, is it the same person? Sometimes when you are going home, they know my car. So it passes by. They say, a rich man has passed by. The rich man has gone. Is it me? Is it I? One who used to eat jackfruit seeds when I did not have something to eat. And you go to a place where they have eaten jackfruit from. And you pick up the seeds and go cook them. Am I the one being called a rich man that has passed by? Isn't that good? Have you ever reached that level where you're eating jackfruit seeds? Where you just want to take out the seeds? Have you ever reached that level? How many have reached that level? I've seen one hand raised. May the Lord meet you. But even you who is beyond that level of jackfruit seed, those are not the promises of the Lord to you. The promises of the Lord to you are, He says, I'll make you rich. He says, I will show you things your eyes have never beheld, and even what your ears have not heard. You've heard most of the things. And then you hear rich people who say, I'll give 100 wedding contributions. But the Lord says, He's going to make you hear things you've never heard before. Don't you see His words are very pleasant? That the promises of the Lord are good. The one stayed here tonight. If the Lord worked for me, I pray the Lord that worked for me, that which is upon me, the Lord that I see in me, if it's something of wealth, if it's something spiritual, if it's something to work, may He pour it upon you in Jesus' name. That is my prayer. That they may perceive you in a totally different way. Many people used to see me. They even remind me sometimes. Hey, they are Lwondo. One who used to put on slippers. In senior one, you still have slippers on. And then you get an upgrade to that level. Where you fear to put on your rubber shoes and you need to hold it before you get to where you have to go. That you get to a place where you want to put it on and they see you as someone who has put on shoes. And you don't want it to be wasted and spoiled. then you're badly off. You're badly off. That was me. But now, the Lord has married me. And I know the Lord is going to marry you too. The Lord is going to marry you at your workplace. The Lord is going to marry you. One day the Lord will come out for you. And you say, Lord, is it me? When you also touch yourself. I have a sister. Brother. The first day they left home, we were going to the US because they are lame. But we didn't have the money to buy that bicycle they used. And they just used to crawl. The first time they came to Kampala, we were going to the American Embassy to get a visa. And when we got there, they gave us that visa. All the times I've gone to American Embassy, they give me a visa for 2 years. That is the same they gave to my brother. But when we got to the plane, and he looked around, I saw tears flow out of his eyes. He's called John. John, what is wrong? I asked. And he said, even though the Lord takes me at this point, I've already made it to heaven. Even though the Lord takes me at this time, I'm already in heaven. And I said, no, you're not yet there. You're not yet in heaven. We were going to Minnesota in US. But we had to pass through UK. Then from UK to Texas.
Then from Texas to Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And then we go to Minneapolis and then to Minnesota. But we had our states we had to visit. And I just told him, this is just the beginning. You're about to board about 20 planes by the time we get to the end of the journey. For he was special. Every airfield they would be waiting for us. And they would rush, they would take us too quickly. We found people who are waiting for us. Those people are very smart. They also knew that even on their plane, there is someone who is lame. So they will not quickly transit, for their airfields are bigger than ours. You may need to board a train to get to the next plane. In the airfield. Because you cannot get a flight from the airport where you are. They take you in a speedy train. And they take the person you're going to board the next. But we found them waiting for us as officials. Where we delayed, there is a place we delayed. We had gone at the economy level. The delay was caused by them. The other airplane they gave unto us, they told us you're boarding first class business. So we went in first class. Even though you cough, they will wonder, what do you want? Even though you just change, there is someone take care of you all the time. Even though you're just yawning, which drink do you want? There are things the Lord does. If you've not yet gone to that level of executive, there is a place where they first take you, that you may rest a bit. You may even go and take a shower. When you come out, they give you something to eat. Then they take you to the business class. And then I wondered, is this Lwondo? You wanted to pitch yourself to know whether you're still alive. Whether it's you that's being treasured in such a way. We attended a Senate meeting. We were going to meet a senator. The Minnesota senator. But we had to meet at the water. The meeting was over the waters. They took us somewhere and they gave us a board. The ship was also like a first class ship. And they took us. The meeting. And I wondered, am I the one to meet the senator? I was treated in this kind of first class life. There are times where the Lord treats you and you wonder whether it's you. When sometimes I was in such things, then I'll go back and reflect about my home. And I look at the food they are calling me to. Then I see the jackfruit seeds. Then I look at the food this side. And I said, indeed, you're God. The Lord can do those things unto you. The Lord can do them indeed. He can. By the time I wed my wife, we went to visit the parents twice. The first time they chased me away. For where I was going to marry from, they are very wealthy.
Extremely rich.
They are extremely rich. I found her at the university. And she saw me as the person she loved. And the father told me, what have you done to me, my daughter? I thought you were bringing me a son of Sudil. When she told him about the village, he also felt so bad. Woe unto me. Of all people, when you're my firstborn, he gave birth to 10 daughters before giving birth to a son, and they were all girls. So she's the firstborn daughter. But the person she has brought, they eat jackfruit seeds at home. And don't you think that it's the Lord who changes? That Lord cannot turn you around. If he can turn around that, and then you say he cannot turn you around, and then he adds flesh to the bones, at this moment you may be bones. When you're in the valley, can't the Lord put flesh upon your bones? Can he not? Is there anything impossible for God? The situation you're going through is not permanent, my brother. Then the girl told him, my father, he's the one I love. And then they chased us away. Now what caused the problem? I was born again. And now woe unto me the third time.
At least
you should have brought something at least poor. But when they are Catholic, and you've now brought a born again, that is that. Then they told us to go. As we were home, then we got a call. We were requesting that even next Sunday you come and pay us service, that we may speak about these things. Isn't that God? Then we went back another time. And he said, I've allowed you. Even though you don't bring anything, I've allowed you to proceed. Just tell me the number of people you're coming with. But that very person had told us, he was testifying to me recently, that of all the 9 children, they have never an introduction like mine.
Abazungu 24 balinnya ennyonyi nga bava US bajje batestifying okwanjula.
24 whites came from abroad to come and witness the introduction. A full coaster.
Nga bazze kubeera okukwanjula kwa.
They had come to witness my introduction.
Omwavu.
A poor person.
Aliesigoza fene.
Who eats jackfruit seeds?
Katonda talina kyatasobola kukyusa.
There isn't anything the Lord cannot turn around.
Nze nkirabyeko.
I've seen it.
Katonda alina kyasobola okukyusa mu ggwe.
There is something the Lord can turn around in you.
Mwesibeeko.
Just cling unto him.
Namwesibako nga nyina emyaka 12.
I clung unto him when I was 12 years of age.
Nga ffenna batuleseewo.
When we had been left alone.
Nga tuli kisiraani.
We were a curse, a reproach.
Bazadde baffe bamaze okufa HIV.
Our parents had died of HIV.
Edda HIV nga bagamba awaliwo ekisiraani.
Long ago they would say there is a reproach at that house.
Nga ne bw'osanga omuntu.
Even though you would meet someone,
mumanyi omukyala yasooka n'agwa mu kasika alaba oba mpiseewo.
The woman first hid in a bush to say that I passed away. I've gone away.
Ne mmala okuyitawo.
And after I had passed by,
naye ne sayidi gye nayitako teyagiyitako.
Even the side I used to go, he did not choose it. Lest he goes through the footsteps of the reproach. Hearken to that level of rejection. Have you ever been rejected? I've come for only those. If you came here and you're already rich, you'll make a loss. One who has never been rejected, today may be a loss to you. We were rejected. We were rejected. We were a reproach. But now, that is God. May the Lord tickle you and make you laugh. May he tickle you. The Lord has made me laugh. May the Lord also to you. He's going to make you laugh. May he tickle you. The Lord is going to make you laugh. So there is a laughter that I have now. There is a laughter that I have now. And I say, Lord, indeed you are God. But it's because I clung on to him. Whatever you want, first cling unto him. After all those people had rejected me, I do not know how the Spirit led me. But I saw God. When is the only one that can save me? When I was young, because my parent had given birth to very many children. Oh, is it giving birth to many children that caused the issue? I used to say, I'll give birth only one child. I would always pray to God to give me only one child. The Lord has given me 3. I look at them and I see gifts. During the day I came with one, a boy. And tonight I have one with me. She has completed her exams that take her to 4th year. 4th year of law. Isn't that God? In law. My own child. God. God, indeed you are God. Say that God, you are God. There is nothing impossible for you on this earth. There is no situation that's very big before you. It is not there. I have confirmed that it's not there. There is no situation that is great. It is not there. Just cling to him. Just cling to him that he may be close to you. I've seen the Lord reveal to me. Reveal to me. And telling me do this. And I do that. And that produces profit. And he says do this. And I do that. And then it bears fruit. Some people come up but you don't feel at anything that you do. I swear to you. I made businesses. Like 30 of them. When none of them fails, and isn't that good? And I say, let me try those ones they say will also make you lose your money. And you begin to test God to that level. Lord, they told me that these businesses, they make losses. And I try them out. I told my friend, I told me, but chicken, they can make you lose all your money. And I said, let me try those ones. They made me lose a lot of money. I tried the chicken. Our God is good. I do not see how I'm losing money from the poultry. But I also brought him to that place. And he said, but you, there is something you have. I also want you to be because someone has something. But when someone cannot explain it, when you ask them to explain, they cannot explain. Because I also cannot. I cannot explain it. When I call it a blessing, I've underestimated it. Other people have a blessing. They do have it. But this is something you cannot explain. The Lord can give it to you. And you begin up this business. A small business. A big one. Something small. Then a big one. But when all of them prosper, and isn't that God, and then you build buildings. There is a building I'm establishing. I also fear it, it's very great. Chinene nyo. As I was starting it, they are now making the molds, different molds. I began another one. And my friend told me, you carry so many things at once. You find yourself not completing them. There are people like that. You're carrying so many things at once. So I'm about to complete the other building. Both of them are being built. The reason they were the builders are stopped. I just told them to divide themselves, some to be here and others to be added elsewhere. Every day. It is going on. I finished it. Now I'm going to roof and to work on the floor. I also make a petrol station. I'm working on a petrol station. It is what I'm constructing. But yet there is something else I'm constructing too. So it's a petrol station where they are telling me I'm carrying so many things at once. For it requires money. But I'm going to finish it. And yet the other one is also being constructed. Some are divided, some people are on the building and others are petrol station. And they ask me, which site is it? This one or the other site? And isn't that God? There are about 3 things that I want to cling on as a born again. One of them, in this life, first cling on to God. That is the thing you should begin with. Like 3. Cling on him.
Kubanga bw'omwesibako
Because when you cling onto
ajja
him,
kubeerako bingi byakubikkulira.
he'll reveal so many things unto
Ajja
you.
kubeerako bingi byakulaga.
He'll show you so many things.
Ate tajja
And
kukoma kubikubikkulira
he'll
Bukristo.
not only reveal them to you,
Bw'onaabikola
when you do those things,
nabyo ajja biteekako olukomera.
he'll also put a hedge around them.
Ajja biteekako luki?
He'll put a hedge around them.
Kati oyo ye Katonda.
And that is God.
Kye kiri kye babuuza.
That is the question that is
Bw'ebibyo
being
nga
raised.
tibifa.
How about don't make losses?
Biriko olukomera.
There is a hedge around them.
Kuliko olukomera olubiriko.
There is a hedge around them.
Bw'omala okwesiba ku Katonda.
After clinging to God,
Kola.
work.
Bannange buli omu kola.
Everyone do work.
Ate kola nnyo.
And work hard.
Olejja kumbuuza okukola ennyo kutya ky'otegeeza.
What do you mean by working hard?
Kola nnyo.
Work hard.
Bwe nabadde ngezaako
When I was trying
okugira obubaka bwa leero,
prepare today's message,
njagala obulifaalinga ku mukyalo.
I want to refer it to this
Naye
lady.
gwe tomutwala nti mukyala.
But do not consider as a lady.
Mutwale nti muntu wa bulijjo.
Take them as an ordinary
Omukyala
person.
ono ali mu ngero.
This lady is in the Proverbs.
N'enkola gy'akolamu.
And the way she works.
Ogenda gitusomera ngero 31. Tandikira ku 10 mu Luganda. Namulowoozezaako.
I thought about her.
N'endabira ddala.
And I really saw
Nga bw'aba mukyala nga mukozi.
that if it's a woman who is a worker,
Aba mukozi.
they are really hard working.
Mutusomereko.
Engero 31 olw'ekkumi. Omukazi omwegendereza ani ayinza okumulaba? Kubanga omuwendo gwe gusinga amayinja amatwakaavu.
Wulira nti omuwendo gwe gusinga amayinja amatwakaavu.
Their value is more than the precious rubies.
Amayinja amatwakaavu, amayinja agali precious tugamanyi ffenna.
We all know the precious stones.
Omuwendo gw'omukyalo.
This person's value.
Wulira bwe bamutandika omunnyonnyola.
Hearken to how they begin to explain her. Omutima gwa bba gumwesiga.
Omutima gwa bba gumwesiga.
So taabulwenga magoba.
Taabulwenga magoba.
Amukola bulungi so si bubi ennaku zonna ez'obulamu bwe.
Amukola bulungi so si bubi ennaku zonna ez'obulamu bwe.
Anoonya ebyoya by'endiga n'eppamba.
Omukazi ono omukozi.
N'akola emirimu n'engalo ze n'essanyu.
Njagala waako n'akola emirimu.
I love that she does her work of her hands with joy.
Emirimu gy'emikono gyo gikola n'essanyu.
Do you do your work joyfully?
Naye wulira nti anoonya ebyoya kwegamba mukalabya.
So she's someone who devises all means.
Wano kyetaagisa obukalaba.
It needs someone who is cunning.
Anoonya ebyoya by'endiga.
They look out for wool.
N'akola emirimu gy'emikono gye.
And she does the works of her hands
n'essanyu.
with joy.
Bameka abalina emirimu?
How many have jobs?
Ng'oli genuinely.
When you're genuine,
Bameka abagikola n'essanyu?
how many do their work joyfully?
N'essanyu.
With joy. Alinga amata ag'abasuubuzi.
Mbw'alinga amaato ag'abasuubuzi.
Emmere ye agijja wala.
Wulira, njagala ky'amaato ag'abasuubuzi.
Amen.
Gw'olowooza eryato ly'omusuubuzi lituula?
Do you think the merchant ship is always at bay?
Ani yali abaddeko ku mwalo?
Who has ever been at the...
Ani amanyi amaato bwe gakola?
Who knows how the ships work?
Liba lijja nga litikka ebiki?
They are coming
Nga
and
litikka ebirala likola ki?
taking merchandise.
Alinga bamugeraageranyiza n'amaato agabaki?
She's compared to the merchant ships.
Kwegamba agenda yeetisse.
She goes on carrying
Akomawo akoze
something
eki?
and she comes back with other merchandise.
N'ekirala tatuula.
And the other thing is that she's never seated.
Kati gwe atudde weegeraageranya n'omukazi ono.
So do you compare yourself to this lady?
Nga bagamba omusajja oyo tatuula.
And they say that man is never settled. And they should testify about that. When do you rest? Those who were there as I was talking to those who have never said up anything. Some of us, to rest. Our women, our wives first trick us. I'll never forget that day. I stay in Rakai. We are working. But my wife was tired. That I work like that all the time. And she said, you know what? This time she used Bishop Senfuma. I'm tired. This husband of mine will fall on me. Because when he has just reached home, then he goes back. When he has just come home, then he goes back. And then the pastor asked, what should we do for him? And she said, if I tell him, he will not agree. And pastor said, leave him to me. Then he made the call. Mr. Lwondo, I have a problem, but I'm in Ginger. Where are you? And I told him I'm in Rakai. What is the problem? It requires you to be with me. I'm in Ginger. So I got that car. I was with a friend of mine. I got that car. And I set off. I drove. Then we got to Ginger. Before we get to Ginger, the spirit warned us a little. But his pastor really in Ginger. Sometimes he would call us as we were getting to Boyogere and ask, where are you? How come you've delayed? That is when we recalled. And we said our car has a tracker. So we put a tracker. Then we saw the car we had left home was a sign hotel in Ginger. I think this people already reached Ginger. So we drove. When we got to Ginger, he told us that when you get there, just give in your name. They had already informed the hotel wherever we are reception. But they had also hidden our cars. They were not where we were supposed to park. By the time we got there, we had said our names. Your pastor has been waiting for you. Here is the key. You're going to room so and so. Then we got there. The Holy Spirit had not yet told us to open these rooms that are alone. They had laid the bed and there were flowers. And then my wife came from the bathroom. She was hiding in the bathroom. And I said, what are you doing? Where is Pastor? When Pastor came, he called. Now that you don't want to rest, all the days that they have rented that place are the days you're supposed to spend there. They had rented for 3 days. But we enjoyed and we also added more 2 days. And there were 5 days together. And there were 5 days. And there were 5 days. All the parts of Ginger. Whatever place that is good. She had gone and booked everywhere. One thing I failed to do. I wasn't brave enough. The diving. And it takes you back and you dive again. But she wanted me to try out everything. That resting, they first trick you that you may rest. Have you reached that level?
Ani yagituuse?
Who has reached that level?
Tewali n'omu.
No one.
Nti okuwummula
That resting,
bakuturikinga buturikizi
you are just tricked
ogende owummuleko.
that you may go and rest.
Kati nze bwe baba banturikinga
So when they're tricking me,
nga bwe ndi,
as I am,
kati kale gwe ampisizzaako katono,
now for you who has gone beyond me,
gwe nga tebannakuturikinga,
and they have not yet tricked
kale
you,
n'ebibyo bijja.
your things are also coming.
Nze bwe mba siwummula
If I do not rest,
alinga bwe ndi,
as I am,
kati gwe
and you,
ansingako katono,
who is better than I
kale gwe ojja
am,
kumbuulira nti otuuse ow'okuwummulira.
then you will tell me that I should reach your resting place.
Ekigambo kimu kye mpulira bakozesa ku muntu awummudde
One thing I hear them use upon someone who has rested
ku kyalo.
in the villages.
Nawuliranga bagamba kale bambi gundi awummudde,
So and so has rested.
amaze emirimu gye.
They have finished their work.
Oyo aba akoze eki?
That person
Akoze eki?
That person has died.
Era wano tutera nnyo kikozesa.
And here we normally use
Nga
it
bishopu yaffe yawummula.
like our bishop who rested.
Kati gwe awummula.
Now for you who is resting.
Are you competing with the dead?
Okompitinga na kufa
Ng'ebyokukola weebiri.
when there are things to be
Gwe
done.
n'owummula.
And then you rest.
Are you competing with the dead?
Owakanya na kufa.
Fe abalinako we tutuuseeko
Some of us of Mount Zion level,
tetuwummula.
we do not rest.
Omukyalo ono bamugeraageranyiza n'amaato g'abasuubuzi.
This lady has been compared to the merchant ship.
Recently ekigambo kye kimu Musumba Kasozi yadde akibuulirako.
Recently, Pastor Kaso was preaching about the same thing.
Ye n'akirowalinga
Then he lowered it
n'akiteeka ku taxi,
and put it upon like a taxi,
commuters taxi.
a commuter taxi.
Gy'oba ogeraageranya n'eryato.
Compare that to the ship.
Begenda,
It goes.
bwedda,
It comes back.
Bwegenda.
It goes.
Bwedda.
It comes back.
tekola ki?
It does not rest.
Tewummula.
It does not rest.
Kati gw'oba wakakolayo kamu,
Now for you, you've only done one thing.
nkooye,
I'm so tired.
mpumulemu.
Let me rest a
Ye bannange
bit.
guno omulimu ogutaliko kuwummulamu.
But this job, I would not even get some time to rest.
Bannange,
But
kati nga Idi bwetuuse,
now, like Idi has come,
waliwo abaakubye n'akalulu.
there are even those who
Nga
all
mubuuza
listen.
Idi yaddi mpumulemu.
And you're wondering when is it that I should rest?
Idi yaddi.
When is
Kwegamba
Idi?
ozirinda bulinzi.
You just wait for those days.
Naye waaligambye nti sinnatuuka.
But you would have said, I've not yet reached where I
Mpulira nga
want to
saagala
be.
na kuwummula.
I feel like I don't want to rest. Olw'ekkumi n'etaano era agolokoka nga bukyali bwa kiro.
Agolokoka nga bukyali bwa kiro. Gw'ogolokoka ddi?
When do you wake up?
Bameka abagolokoka nga bukyali bwa kiro?
How many wake up when it's still in the night?
N'akola ki?
Naawe ab'omu nnyumba ye ebyokulya. N'agabira abawala be emirimu gyabwe.
Webale nnyo. Agolokoka nga bukyali bwa kiro.
She rises while it's still yet night.
Sooka weerowoozeemu gwe ogolokoka ddi?
First think about yourself. When do you wake up?
Naye nga bwe twosoma ekyo,
But as we read that,
bagambye waggulu nti wa muwendo gye
they said that
basookeddeko.
she's precious. That's the first thing they said.
Bameka nga ba muwendo nga beegeraageranya n'omukazi oyo?
How many are worthy and they compare themselves to
Ba
that lady?
muwendo okusinziira ku byali.
They are worthy according to what she is.
Kubanga bagambye nti wa muwendo n'okusinga amayinja.
For they have said she's far worthy than the rubies.
Amayinja ago ag'ebbeeyi.
The rubies.
Wa muwendo okusinga amayinja ago ag'ebbeeyi.
She's much more worthy than the precious stones.
Naye ogamba njagala kubeera wa bbeeyi.
But you say, I want to
Nange
be
njagala
precious.
bampiteko mugagga.
I want to sort of be called someone rich.
Ozuukuka ddi?
At what time do you wake up?
Azuukuka nga bukyali ki?
She wakes up while it's still yet night.
Nga bukyali bwa kiro.
When it's still night.
N'agabanya abaana be ne emirimu egy'enjawulo.
And she apportions the works to be done by her maidservants.
Kale bw'oba toyina baana,
So if you don't have children,
n'ogabanya abakozi b'emirimu
you apportion to your maid servants the different things. Your servants.
Kale bw'oba mukozi for yourself nga gwe weekolera.
If you're the one working for yourself, self-employed, and then you apportion work for yourself. But some people, there are offices we work in, that if your boss has not come to tell you that do this, you cannot. Even though you see it as something that needs to be done. I have a young man, a guard at my home.
My daughter amanyi.
But sometimes we are surprised by him. You came back with him. I saw him work hard and I wanted to take him to my shop. But he worked harder than even those he found at the shop. So at home, I was telling those I spoke to during the day. Then at 2 a.m. you hear him. He's washing my car. He's a wise man. We leave our shoes on the stairs. Then you find he has cleaned them and arranged them by pairs. And you wonder, when did he do all these things? There is someone who brought chocolate at my home. I remember him so well. He had some sandals. He felt like he had entered the house. Then at the gate, I told him not put off the shoes. That even though you put off your shoes at the gate, he works day and night. He's a guard and a scar. I brought him from northern Uganda.
Recently,
I got him from Arua. He was going.
Before Christmas.
We told him you have to go for Christmas. You should find someone that will do the guarding. He said no, boss. They told me at Christmas. It is him who gives in the plan. That after Christmas, then the season for selling books has come. So I'm requesting Sango Stationers. When I leave at that time, I may tarry a little. And then they said we are beginning there and then. I felt he had touched me. That had pierced my heart. So I told him, I'm requesting I give you transport. There is a wife. I want to give you transport. That your wife will come for Christmas here. And he said, okay, I would allow her to come.
And they trust each other.
I speak to the wife. But I'm thinking that transport to board and come.
For Christmas.
And she comes for Christmas. When I send this money, she may add on to it and then my children go to school in January.
He has a plan.
And he didn't take her. Now, he works. After January, he's going. So I told him,
by then
I had about 3 million of his that I keep for him. The morning had come. The daughter knows only how are you. She does not understand the language. I'd given him money to buy something for the wife and the daughter. But I also told him, apart of your money. And he told me daddy. He calls me daddy. He found the children calling me that. So he also calls me daddy. He's an old man.
Nangamba daddy.
And he said, Daddy.
Olumu akimpita ne mpulya nga nesiwadde. Kati nangamba daddy.
And he said, Daddy.
Mbadde sente ezo nzisuubira zigulamu akataka ewaffe tulima nnyo muwogo.
I was expecting to use that money to buy land. In our place we do a lot of cassava. So according to what I'm calculating, it's like I'm lacking 2 million shillings.
Okay.
And I said, okay. When you'll be going back, I want to add the 2 million onto that money.
Somebody in a plan.
Omuntu ayina enteekateeka.
Olaba nti buli ky'omugamba.
You see that whatever you tell him,
njagala oteeberezeemu.
I want you to imagine
nga mukama we yakakako sente zo.
when it's your boss that is forcing you to take your money.
Ani yali akituuseeko?
Who has ever reached that level?
Kati we checking.
Now examine yourself.
Mukama wo.
When your boss.
Nga yakakokose abamu muzijjayo in advance kwega ogenda okutuukayo ng'olimu alias.
By the time you get there, you're already in areas.
Ogenda okutuukayo.
By the time you get to that time,
nga gwe babanja.
when it's you that is being demanded money from.
Kati n'olaba omulimu nga mubi nnyo.
So you consider a job to be very bad.
Kubanga wazijja nsabayo ka advance.
Because you ask for an advance.
Ogenda n'obala nsabayo ka advance omanyi.
You know, I want an advance.
Kati ndi mumukakako sente ze.
So now I'm forcing him to take his own money.
Nendabira ddala ng'ono omwana mugezi nnyo.
And I saw that this person was very wise.
Ndi mu kuzimba supermarkets 2.
I'm constructing 2 supermarkets.
Emu ku yo.
One of them.
Yagenda okubeera manager wange.
He will be my manager there.
From an askari level.
Okuva ku ddala ery'okuba asikaali.
Olaba mukama engeri gy'akyusaamu.
Do you see how the Lord turns things around?
Olaba mukama engeri gy'akyusaamu ebintu.
Do you see how the Lord transforms things?
Gwe ku mulimu gw'oyisa otya?
How do you behave at your workplace?
Sirina lwe mulagira.
There isn't a day I command him.
Ye alaba bulabi.
He just sees something needs to be
Ekyo
done.
kyekyetaagisa.
That is what needs to be done.
Mukama wange ombuulira obudde olumu mbuyisaamu. Saagala kuyisa mbudde. Ng'alaba nga kyo kyekyetaagisa.
He sees something that needs to be done.
Gw'olaba ng'ekyo kyekyetaagisa.
Do you consider something that needs to be done?
Olaba ng'amaanyi g'olina okuteekamu g'olina okuteekamu.
Are you investing the strength you ought to invest in?
Olaba abamu emikisa we tugisuulira.
Do you see how we miss the blessing sometimes?
Mbadde mbanyumiza mukama wange.
I was telling you about my boss.
Mwabali wano bameka abalina emirimu.
How many have jobs here?
Bameka abatalina.
How many do not have?
Mbadde njogerera mu batalina mirimu.
I was speaking unto those who do not have jobs.
Olwaleero emisana.
During that day.
Njogeredde mu groups 2.
I spoke in 2 groups.
Naye one of the group.
One of the groups.
Mbadde njinyumiza story yange n'engeri gye ntandikamu okugenda ebweru.
I was narrating how I began to go abroad.
Ne mbaga nti nali nyina masters.
And I told them I had a master's.
Naye omulimu gwe nasooka okukola gwali gwa bwasikaali.
But the first job I did was being an askari.
Oli yagula ekizimbe kye?
Someone built a
Tikiri wana kiri wano bakiyita Najja essomero eryali erya Najja eryali awa Kiseka.
The Najja High School that was in Kiseka.
Nangamba.
And they told me,
tulina omulimu.
We have a job.
Nevaayo nga ndi excited.
So I came out when I was excited.
Ate nno nga nkonvinsinga.
And they were convincing
ku mulimu gwe nali nkola.
that I should leave the work I was doing
Mulimu gwe nali
somewhere.
nkola gwali mu million plus.
I was earning millions plus.
Nangamba vaayo jangu tukole ffenna.
And he said, come and we work together.
Nenjija.
I came.
Bwe nzija.
When I came,
agamba twaguze ekizimbe.
He said we bought a building.
Eri maze okuresigninga.
I've already resigned.
Nangamba twaguze ekizimbe wano.
We bought a building in this place
Ekyalimu Najja.
that had Najja.
Nangamba naye
But
kirimu store wakati.
it has a store now.
Naye kati ebintu by'abantu olumu babiyisaawo.
But some things people are cheated of their
Kati
merchandise.
kuliko kigate.
So there is a gate.
Nangamba ogenda kubeera awo.
You're going to be at that
Obenga
gate.
olaba abantu abafulumya bwe bayingiza ebintu.
That you see people who are taking out merchandise and those bringing in.
Literally it was a number of telling me to be a scar.
Kyali ngeri yagonjebwa y'okungamba nti beera asikaali.
Nga nyina masters.
I had a master's.
Nyina masters mu public administration.
I have a master's in public administration.
kati gobera bubezi n'esifo
So for you just have a senior 4 certificate.
oba ne baptism certificate ne bakugamba okola obwasikaali n'ogasagala kumanyira
And they tell you to be an askar and you said, no, I cannot.
n'ogasagala
And you say, I do not want familiarity.
ey'esifo gyogedde ennene
Senior 4 is a high level.
baptism certificate
Naye kadi y'obubatize.
n'olaba ng'oli w'amaanyi nnyo
And you see yourself as a great person.
naŋŋamba ogenda kubeera awo bwe mmaliriza
Afterwards,
kubanga ekizimbe ekyo baali bakizimbye nga kikomye somewhere
the building was not complete.
ne baŋŋamba tugenda kwongerako fule endala 2
They told me we are going to add 2 more floors.
naye naŋŋamba
But he told me,
mwenna abaali balabyeko ebizimbe by'omu kibuga bwe babizimba
if you see how the
bwe
buildings
baba
are
batwala omusenyu
constructed,
waggulu kubanga kyali ku 3rd floor
as they're taking the sand up, because it was on the 3rd
bakuteeka
floor,
mu bukutiya abavubuka
they put it in a sack.
nga baleetaawo sido traka ne bagiyiwawo
So they brought the truck and
ne muga
offloaded.
muzeeyi traka bagireese
They have brought the truck, I told the
nga kati
boss.
obadde okola ki
What were you doing?
nga muzeeyi mbadde ndi wano naye tewali nnyo bantu bakola ki
There are no people here.
nga kakati
He said, now,
traka eyo baŋŋambye
they told me that truck,
okujambusa waggulu yeetaaga emitwalo nga 5
it needs about 500,000 to take it to the
naye
top.
nze mbadde ndowooza
But I was thinking,
naawe waali bajoyininze
you should join them,
n'oba ng'okola kale nabo
that you work with them.
at least buli omu bwe mubeera abantu nga 10
If you're about 10 people
oba 2
or 20,
buli omu afunayo kyaba afunyeeyo bebe
everyone
ekitundu
will receive whatever they receive, be it
muga
25,000.
muzeeyi nja kukola
And I said, boss, how work?
njogereraako ne yinginiya
Speak for me to the engineer.
abamu temulaba ebifuba bye tulina waliyo gye byava
There are places where we made these chests from.
kati ng'ojjo nga kirabika okubamu ebyuma
And then you tell me maybe
naye birina
a
gye byava
bodybuilder. No, they came from somewhere.
waliwo bye twetikka gwe byotanneetikka
There are things we carry that you've not yet carried.
ne twambusa omusenyu
So we took the sun out.
sino traka nambo sebeggwawo
A full
mugikwatako
sino
abantu 2 we buzibiranga eri waggulu
By the time it's evening, it's already taken up to that's where it's supposed to be. So I got something.
kati ambuuza ye onaakolera mmeka
And then he asked me, how much will be your salary?
nga muzeeyi simanyi munnanga anti gwogiseetinga
You're the one who sets the salaries.
eventually
Oluvanyuma.
naŋŋamba
Eventually he told me
nti bwe mumala okwambusa
that after I've taken up the sand,
nja kuwa emitwalo nga 25
I'll give you about 250,000 shillings.
naye emitwalo 25 ku bwasikaali n'okwambusa omusenyu
But 250 shillings for
With the
carrying the sand up
masters.
and being an askaring and a master's young.
eventually okugira obudde engeri gye bugenda obudde engeri gye budduka
As time is running fast.
bwe twamaliriza nga mmaze okukola ebyo byonna eby'amaanyi
After doing all those things,
n'enkola n'amazima
and I worked
to the
truthfully,
extent nti yatuukanga n'antega ssente
the extent that he used to put money as
nagamba
a
wali
treat
genda
for
ogyewo
me.
miliyoni 3 ogenda
Go
ogula
pick 30
ebintu
million
bwe
and buy these and these things.
naye n'osangawo 3 mu 2
And you find 32
kati
million.
nkulaba mu birowoozo
Now I see your mind.
n'omukubira
And then you call him.
nagamba ssente ezo nazigye mu banka
I got that money from the bank.
saagala kundowoozesa nti nze ndi musibe
I don't want you to make me think I'm a fool.
nataddewo miliyoni 3
I put 30 million there.
nkulaba mbirowoozo
I see your mind.
ogamba laba ekisiru kino
And you say, look at this fool.
ne mugamba muzeeyi zino ssente si zange
And I said, boss, this is not my
muzeeyi
money.
zino ssente zizo
This is your money.
nagamba mpozi aba roofing wali babe wabbye
Maybe you cheated the roofing people.
nenzirayo mu roofing
So I went back to roofing.
nenkonfaminga nti si zange
I confirmed it's not their money.
kati biseera bino mbadde njogera naye emyaka nga wayiseewo nga 10
After like 10 years, I
nanga
was
mujjukira
speaking to
ssente
him.
zewawakanirako
Do you remember the money we argued about?
nali ntesitinga bwesigwa bwo
I was just testing your integrity.
bwesigwa ki bw'olina
Which kind of faithfulness do you
omulimu
have
gw'okola
about the work that you do?
bwe twamaliriza fast track
After the first track,
okuddukaddukako
to go fast,
eventually yaŋŋamba
eventually he told me,
baŋŋamba olina passport
they told me you have a passport.
ŋŋenda kuwa ssente
I'm going to give you money that is, we start working with you. That is how I begin to be a businessman. I gave the passport to him for a Dubai visa, a Chinese visa, an Indian visa. I have my people I'm going to give unto you, that you go with them. But see what they are doing. I went. I saw what they were doing. By the time I returned, he told me, if I give you another visa, will you go back next week when you're alone? Some of you are not cautious. They said she's a virtuous woman. I was noting down everything. I would note down everything. Eventually, when I was going back, he said there is money I'm going to deposit on your account. That is the money you go with. He had put 500 millions on my account. I went. I bought the merchandise and came back. And we cleared the things. And we put them in a shop. And we began to work. A time came. In that shop we had about 3 billion shillings. But sometimes I would walk on foot to go to Lwondo. That's where I used to stay. Do you have that? How many? When I didn't have a car. When I'm still renting.
From 500
when he has taken me from 500 to 3 billion, but still renting. Look at that fool. When it's I who counts, when it's I who tells him how much you've made, it's I who tells him the profit. But when I was like this, alowooza ennimiro n'agigula. N'agigula. What are you thinking about? She thinks about and she purchases. Asimba olusuku lw'emizabbibu n'ebibala eby'emikono gye. She plants. She buys the field.
In other words, that is investing.
Okwo kusiga. Where is your garden that you're investing in? Where is your field that you've bought and you're investing in? Do you have a garden, a field that you've considered? That which you think about and you invest your money in it. That is your field or garden. Yesiba n'amaanyi n'anyweza emikono gye. Alaba ng'obuguzi bwe bulimu ettunzi. Ettabaaza ye tezikira kiro. That is business. Even in the night her light does not go out. When I was there, I was checking the cameras to see what is happening at my petrol stations. Even where I'm here now, they are making my money. My lamp has not yet gone out. There are people there working. I'm also in my father's vineyard. But also my employees are working. But even those who are sleeping in their houses, the month's about to come to an end. Yes. I'm still working. They are sleeping. I'm making money from them. Every time they sleep, I tell them sleep. At month's end, I go and knock. I'm working. Then from there I checked the medical center camera. Sick people were there at the hospital. I saw the sick people there. I'm working. My lamp has not yet gone out. Even in the night, it is still burning bright. Why are you sleeping? Where you are? Is your lamp still burning that you left? I declare that mine is still burning, even in the night. Ateeka engalo ze ku muggo ogubaako ppamba. Emikono gye ne gikwata akati akalanga. Ayanjuliza omwavu omukono gwe. Why is he putting the wool? I think she has something in her hand. That is what I think. A time has come and she has worked hard that even she has blisters in her hand. There are blisters in her hand from working. Ayanjuliriza omwavu omukono gwe weewaawo agololera emikono gye oyo yeetaaga. Omuzira tagutiira ab'omu nnyumba ye. She stretches out her hands. So now this is giving. If the Lord has given you already, there is something you have to give back. While I was still young and I was 12 years of age, the Lord had not yet given me something. But I paid fees for 2 children. I didn't know that I was doing something. I was extending my hands to them. And to the one who needs. Just like this woman has. I paid fees for 2 children and got their degrees. But now I pay fees for more than 1,000 children. Implying, did I say something? Did I extend my hands to someone? And the Lord blessed me through that which I've extended my hands through. The Uganda is so that you saw on the poster that I've put my name. One of the directors of AIM Uganda.
African International Missions.
It means Africa International Missions. So I do not think about Uganda alone,
African International Missions.
but about Africa International Missions. It's a mission that began with paying fees for 2 children. Now I'm thinking about the entire Africa. Have you extended your hand to sample when the Lord has given you your field? This is the lady that's speaking about. After sowing, and she gets precious things from the garden, she extended her hand to certain people. My friends, there are people you can reach out to. I told you, I extended my help when I didn't have. And I've also reached out more with something. Because in that the Lord blessed me. The Lord can do it unto you. He can indeed do it. Even much more. The Lord will put a hedge around your works. He puts a hedge. And you can also do it. Now some people are wondering, but how does he do all those things? How does he do all those things? Come tomorrow. You'll see how I do those things. Today the conference is still ongoing. Do not miss.
Young CEOs
and
investors conference.
But even in Tuzimbe, I cannot live without speaking about Tuzimbe. That would have done me a lot of bad. I'm the chairperson of Tuzimbe. Thank you all that have given in for Tuzimbe. The things the Lord is doing.
Last week
we were telling you something last week.
Sunday ndowooza ewedde.
Last summer. Didn't we tell you we had about 63 millions? But we needed to give in 100 million. There are people that the Lord touched and they are in your midst. I saw the hand of the Lord. You don't want to be a part of Tuzimbe, but there are things the Lord is doing. We gave in the money on Thursday. Even when you've not given in your money. But we didn't just give in the money. We were wondering, should we give him 150 million? That even we tackle next month's installment.
From today.
For 3 weeks. We need 150 million. We raised our faith. We wanted 100 the other time. And we got 150. Now we want 150 in 3 weeks. Because the 100, the 150, we want this in 6 weeks. This 150, we got it in 3 weeks. Now we want it in 6 weeks. We are going to buy that building in 2 months. We must complete the money they demand from us in 2 months. Hadn't we told you 3 months? We shall tell you that in 2 months we are chasing them away. We were telling our lawyer today that did you write to them and tell them in 3 months we want that building? Isn't that God? And even when I'm leading, he has followed me to provide for me. How about if you had failed to make the man and you say chairman of Tuzimbe? Some already gave us names that now they are begging. Yes. We beg for God's sake. I beseech you. This is a season of sowing. They have told us this woman sows. Do not let it pass by you. Do not let it pass by you. Because we will blow the dust using a V8 and you'll say them. If you don't want to sow, why do you want to harvest? This is a fertile ground to Zimbe. I told God after the church, we are wiseacking. I only told God the church that Lord, when we complete the church building, God construct for me as well. I've told you I'm constructing two sides flats. Storied buildings. An entire village. Someone said you've constructed a full village. It is a full village. That is the condition I gave him. The Lord, let me invest all my strength into Zimbe. Build for me. Now I've constructed a village. May the Lord bless you.